Yo. Hey, welcome back to the Think Tank. I'm Vincent Fink, your host, and we are back from a long break. Man, so much has happened, and it's just been such a kaleidoscope of cataclysms just cascading across my face every day. I feel like in the news cycle, and just it's just insane. So I've barely figured out a moment to kind of like just step in and say like, hey, what's going on about the news and the art world, and how it all connects to science and spirituality. Like it's all this part of this great renaissance, of this great awakening that is happening, right? Have you been hearing about the Great Awakening? Is it here yet? I think it's like still in that seed moment, you know, where the seed is kind of cracking open a little bit, and it's just starting to sprout a little leaf, and that leaf is starting to like kind of do this little dance, like trying to find the sun. And we're finding our way. I don't know, but man, lots of crazy stuff. The news cycle's so fast. Like one day you're talking about Epstein files and Marjorie Taylor Greene leaving, and Trump blowing Bubba, and loss of trust in the Trump admin due to Crash Patel and his crash outs on X about his girlfriend, who's a phenomenon, as he calls it, I believe. Man, all these connections. Charlie Kirk murder not making sense at all forensically. The ballistics don't make any sense.
Just took a massive chunk right out of,
and it's not what happened in that video. It's like the whole freaking head comes off, basically, you know, neck snaps in half, and vertebrae flying out everywhere, and the bullet goes right through, and it goes right through metal. Like, yeah, it's the math ain't mathin'. So yeah, the official stories that the Trump admin has been putting out for these kind of situations is not acceptable, really. It's kind of weird that they're kind of just rolling with it and steamrolling past. And yeah, I don't know. But I guess it's all part of this thing, though, where we as a people are kind of, I think we are coming together more. I do believe that Democrats and Republicans have a unique moment right now to not the hard, like, you know, the really political people. I'm talking more about the centrist people, or like, you know, the common sense Americans who actually aren't like that invested in any party. Like, maybe you get whipped up into it sometimes, but deep down, you know, you just want what's good for your country, and you're just trying to figure shit out, and maybe you got it wrong here and there, right? I mean, I think we've all been there with this system, with these kind of politicians, and the way that, again, that the system, it's pretty nuts how it seems like they managed to take any one of our good people, like anyone who from either side who has any like ounce of goodness and wants to go in there and change one thing, right? And or whatever their vision is, but they have this thing, and they're like, you know, I really want to fix this. And, you know, everyone just wants the same thing, which is like, hey, I want to make life affordable and more affordable, and make things more abundant for people on the lower end, especially, right? And, you know, they get in there, and then something happens, right? It's like, then you see how dirty it is, right? And then I guess you see how, if you're gonna get along, like what you got to do or something. It's a creepy club, man. I don't know. And it seems like Marjorie Taylor Greene leaving was a kind of a sign, man. That's actually that's pretty heavy when you think about it. I don't know if I've even thought about it that much, but just to see somebody who was like, who built themselves off of like MAGA, and then she gets into Congress, she wins handedly, right? You know, amongst the people who vote Republicans, she was a smash hit, I guess, right? Like, people really liked her there, and because she was very much believing in the message of like making America great again, I guess. And I think she left government thinking that that's not what's going on right now. And that's sad. That's a sad state of affairs. Excuse me. So, I'm not happy to hear that she left, although, excuse me. I'm not happy to see that she left, but I am happy to see that this is a moment where we can see that there is some honesty in somebody, right? Maybe that's as close as we're going to get, is to seeing that, like, oh, okay, somebody who really does believe in this stuff and who's truthful and not going to go back or bend, like, that's what happens to them. They get shat on and ridiculed by their the person that they were serving, that they're a leader. And so, yeah, that seems like a crazy way to go out, but we wish her well. All this stuff is crazy, man. The economy, is it really that bad or good? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem great, but it doesn't seem too terrible. It seems like things are kind of just stabilizing. But yeah, we need things to get better again. We need prices to go down. And too much money is being sent to Argentina. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? It seems like no matter who's in office now, it's like, if they're not sending money to this fucking Ukraine, then they're sending it to Argentina. It's always a mess with these people, It's very simple. The way you stop hyperinflation is you dramatically cut spending. It's not that hard. This is basic economics. We are spending too much. We got to cut all foreign aid. We can't help anybody else. On the airplane, right? You got to put the mask on first before you put one on your child, because your child's screwed if you can't get it on, right? So it's like, you got to help yourself first so you can help others. That's the point. And we're not helping ourselves. It's getting tiresome watching this fucking shit where we're endlessly shoveling all of our fucking money. We're just printing more and more of it to send off to other people while Americans are starving, and it's getting ridiculous. And it's been happening on both sides, though, both administrations. It didn't seem so bad under the first Trump term. He seemed to do pretty good that time. But man, this is something else right now. It's not looking good. It's not a good look for the next 3 years if this is where we're headed. I was hoping for a recovery, from the business as usual Biden admin, and how that was going to pan out with the Kamala thing. It wasn't going to be any better. Like, let's get real about that. Again, the border situation and all the chaos that causes economically, as well as just murder wise and trafficking wise, it's insane. And it's certainly a night and day difference there. So I don't think that that's a bad thing. I don't know why other people do. But the media hypes things up. It's very obvious that they don't want anything, I guess, even the slightest disruption in the Great Reset, and how they plan on basically abolishing this nation state and turning it more into just like this business with, I guess, probably like FEMA camps, filled with slave type workers and people who, I guess, the people who don't work will live in the FEMA camps, and you'll just like eat bugs because they'll tell you that there's not enough beef for you and they need to save the environment because of cow farts. So you got to eat the bugs while they're eating steaks. Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum, they're all sitting high up in castles in Transylvania and shit, like eating steaks. I'm just like, This is the world we live in. You know, this sounds like a Batman movie or something, but that's actually like happening right now. Like that's the plan. And so what's the move? You know, do we just kind of take it? Is that what you want to do? Or are we going to at least talk about it so we can spread the ideas and get everybody else on board so we can start all talking the same talk and then come together with the same walk? Yeah, that'd be nice. I think so. So I think we should keep talking and then we can keep walking together, because certainly once we all walk together, there's no stopping us, right? It's game over. And we're getting closer to that. So that's what the Great Awakening is all about. It's beautiful. So the Great Awakening has begun. I mean, at least the seed has kind of cracked open, and a little bit of that plant has crawled out, wiggling towards the sun, the giver of life, and the source of all, you know, the light, which is the source. Light is the source of all creation, because we are all light bodies initially, and we come into this form, and then I think we go back into source. And I think we might have a choice if we want to come back. I don't know. But, you know, this is where it gets a little more spiritual for me, because everything is intermixed. Because I believe that news, economies, and all this stuff, it affects people. And that's what art is about, really. Art is about people, or at least the person and their place in society and how they reflect upon it. And so you get a general idea of what was really going on inside the minds of man throughout history when you look at art. You get a much different understanding of the evolution of our creativity through art. And art history, man, it's a great way to actually learn history. I love it, and I wish they had more cool stuff like that. Ways that in school, you know, but we won't go down that road. Anyways, yeah, I feel like it's like a moment where, well, I mean, Theo Von basically said it best, right? It's like the government's like the person playing Mario, and we're like Mario on the screen, and, you know, they're sitting there, they've been playing this whole time, and then all of a sudden, like, Mario's running along across the screen, and then he stops and just kind of looks at you and says, like, I see what you're doing. But the Great Awakening means a breakthrough in knowledge and the unveiling of hidden truths. It's a time of unlocking the unknown and of the past chains that held us back being broken. You know, the old ways just kind of being deteriorated and already and kind of just worn out, and it's like us finally kind of cracking through that chrysalis and emerging. But just as a butterfly cracks out of his cocoon, his chrysalis, and emerges as a new butterfly, or any insect does for that matter, they emerge in a soft kind of form, and they have to kind of like actually they crack into their new form, and that's kind of soft, and then that has to crack open, and then they come out, and they're very vulnerable in that moment, though. So that's the point, though, is coming out of the chrysalis, you're very vulnerable to predation. So it's important that during this moment of us perhaps coming out of our chrysalis and the Great Awakening, spiritually, metaphysically, but also consciously, mainly, like, and it's all consciousness, really. And we're expanding our consciousness. That's what part of like knowledge seeking is. And I guess that's what I love about it, and what my art is so centered around, because I believe that as we further this consciousness, it allows us to get a little bit closer to the divine, because he seems to be a thinking God, right? I mean, if there is such a thing, it seems like that's what's going on here. Is he's very intricate, and he likes to he likes to put things together, and he likes to, it seems like we enjoy that same process of creating things and putting them together and learning new ways to do that and learning how to recreate things we see in nature. And yeah, it's a fun process of like playing with this idea of like, you know, trying to get to know God a little bit more. And I guess, I don't know. I don't think he really talks much, but he leaves you little clues or something maybe. And I'm still trying to sort out some of those clues that I've been seeing recently, but it's definitely going to be feeding into my art. And there's going to be new art and sacred geometry incorporated into the art and science that I think is going to be a part of this new Great Awakening, and reaching new levels of consciousness is all part of it, right? Again, so like we're going to be figuring things out in a new way, but it's slow, right? This is like an evolutionary process. So I guess that's also the weird thing about it, is like, who knows? There sometimes can be these like jumps though. There seems like there's these points, right? Like the Renaissance. And that's where we're maybe coming up on, is a new Renaissance. That's what I always get excited about when I think about how there does seem to be this like fast movement of information now, and it seems like a lot of brilliant things are happening. We can see how there's like all these like ways to that people have figured out how to make many like eco-friendly versions of like inventions and propulsion systems. So like, what's the holdup, right? It's like we're just waiting on these fucking elite bastards to finally just like relinquish power. Well, I don't think they're gonna, right? So it is gonna be, there's gonna have to be some force, it seems like. I'm not saying like firing squad. I mean, unless that's what's in the law. I mean, but yeah, I mean, people need to be held accountable, and then you just go through the lawful process, and even-handedness of the law must occur. And in that way, we can perhaps root out a little bit of the evil and send a message to the others for the future, at least for a little while, and maybe we can have some sanity and peace and prosperity. And maybe next year will be a chapter that will be, I want to make some predictions, I guess. Let's say, I think next year is going to be because it's the year of the fire horse in the Chinese zodiac, I think that it's going to be a year of leaving behind old, tired, just kind of outdated systems, and embracing something new and great. And that like everyone's been asking for, like we all kind of know these solutions again, right? Like we kind of figured it all out, and we kind of know that it's very simple to solve these problems. And if you actually just had some people who wanted to do that, who actually wanted to do that and did it, pull the trigger, do it, It's like, make it fucking happen. Don't just talk about it. Don't keep saying like, hey, no, but make it happen. Why is that so hard? Why? My God. Okay. Anyways, yeah, year of the fire horse. It's going to be good though. That's the horse. Fire horse does represent kind of this movement of this like, strong, strident, energy moving towards something new and better. Yeah. Getting away from that old world, because I mean, let's face it, we're not going back, but we could maybe try to make the future a little bit better. We got to do better. We got to definitely do better. Year of the Horse exhibit at Modern Eden Gallery, January 25th, 2026. Go check it out. And my art will be there. I have a piece that I've been working on. It's pretty close to done, but I'm going to be poking at those little details for quite a little bit having some fun with that. But I'm going to try to stop on this one, actually, and maybe even try to make another one real quick. I don't know. Sometimes I'd like to make a couple and then just pick the one I send them and sell the other one in my studio. So stay tuned to see what that looks like. And of course, if you're interested in art that kind of goes through these kind of ideas of awakening and the intersection of math and art and science and all these kind of things, the new renaissance, as I like to call it, then check out more of my videos, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next vid. Okay? Best of energies, and keep creating worlds.